The strategy really is just to connect with my guest.
Right.
I have to make sure that they're comfortable with me.
Yes.
Because if they will not be able to share intimate conversation with me. So I have to connect with them first so they'd get comfortable. And when they get comfortable with me, that's when they can really fully express their thoughts. And sometimes it gets crazy when it's not that I want my guests, like every episode should be a dramatic episode, like people would cry.
Right.
I honestly don't like that, but it's really more of for them to be vulnerable. That's when they get vulnerable in an episode, that's when the moment starts.
Chito, I think we were talking about moments, right?
Moments, yeah.
Because in the video space, there is moments that capture people's attention. So I was wondering if there's any strategies or tactics or anything that you've done to create a moment that has worked.
If we're going to talk about my talk show, because that's my main,
please.
or let's just say that's my flagship content right now, the strategy really is just to connect with my guest.
Right.
Like I have to make sure that they're comfortable with me.
Yes.
Because if they are not, they will not be able to share intimate conversation with me. So I have to connect with them first so they'd get comfortable. And when they get comfortable with me, that's when they can really fully express their thoughts. And sometimes it gets crazy when it's not that I want my guests, like every episode should be a dramatic episode, like people would cry. I honestly don't like that, but it's really more of for them to be vulnerable. That's when they get vulnerable in an episode, that's when the moment starts. When both of us get vulnerable, let's say you get emotional or we laugh too hard at a certain topic, that's when the moment starts. And because you get to connect with the audience, with the people watching the video. So that's, if you're talking about moment, that's when the moment starts. It's when both the host, which is me, and the guest get vulnerable.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you find that establishing that trust and making people feel comfortable is different for every person? Like for one person, it might be they want to know exactly what you're going to be talking about and they want to be prepared. For somebody else, it might be talking about a specific topic that is important to their heart that makes them.
So what I do sometimes is that before we get to the chit chat or the interview, like I don't really tell them like, okay, these are my questions. Although sometimes they would say like, what are your questions for me? It's like, don't worry, I'm not gonna put you
throw you under the bus.
Exactly. So it's just really spontaneous because that's what the show is all about. It's called chit chat because when you're chit chatting, it's just really spontaneous. Everything like for me, it's like getting to know more about my guests. So my questions are not really like I don't follow rules. Like whatever comes to mind, I'd ask that question because I want to get to know more of you. My guests are different. Some are not too showy, not too expressive. So it's like I have to adjust. You know, I have to be. So if I think that my guest is not so expressive, I have to ask more questions. And like I started with just questions that are, let's just say, lighter questions so they get comfortable. And once they get, like, because I would feel it. I would feel the spirit. If they're already getting comfortable, that's when they start to ask more intimate questions. So it's really different from each guest.
I love that. One of the things that's on my mind, because we talked at the coffee shop about personal finance, like we were talking about financial tools and things like that. And I was wondering, in terms of like finances, when you're making decisions about like where to spend resources, like say it's like on Google ads or Facebook ads or something like that, Like, how do you make those decisions? Do you experiment? Do you have go-to platforms?
Sure. I don't, because for me as a content creator, I don't really spend on ads.
Yeah.
So 100% of my contents in my platforms, which are the main platforms I have, are Facebook and YouTube.
Gotcha.
So I don't really spend on ads,
Yeah.
because I want my contents to be
Organic.
organic. Yeah, there you go.
Organic.
I want my contents to be organic. I don't really want to consider my social media presence as a business, but it really is.
Yeah,
technically.
yeah.
It is a business technically. Spending is more on when if we talk about spending in terms of my business, it's really more on my equipment.
Right.
These are my investments, my equipment, my gas.
Yeah.
Because I don't have a studio, which is a personal decision. I don't want to be a talk show that has a studio.
Right.
Because my talk show is spontaneous. So it's more personal when I go to their, to where they are. On site. So I travel. These are my expenses. Going back to your question, that's something that I have to work on, to finally have a tool where I would see, where did my money go? Because I have that problem. It's really my problem right now. Like sometimes, where did it go? Where did my money go? Like, why is it like when I check my bank account or when I check my cash, and I would sometimes ask myself like, how did I lose so big? So yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what I use is called Mint.com.
Okay.
It's a free service that I think they're owned by Intuit, like
Okay.
this major global company that has a lot of credibility. So
Okay.
I trust it to connect all the APIs and all the bank accounts to
Mm.
my stuff. So it pulls in just like all my bank accounts, all
Wow.
my credit cards. You can see every single transaction that
Mhm.
comes from every single bank and every single credit card.
Okay.
You can do things like budgeting. You can see cash flow.
Okay.
And so it's been something that I've used for like 12 years now.
And it's available in the Philippines. It's available all over the world. Is it?
It should be, yeah.
Okay.
We can test it maybe and make sure before we
Okay,
post this
sure.
content.
And it's not the sponsor of this video, right?
No.
Hey, just kidding. I was just kidding.
It's not sponsored by.
But it's not a problem with me anyway.
Yeah. I'm just thinking like because that was one of the things, like Cassie and I created a podcast like 10 years ago.
Right.
And we would do this thing where we featured like different like apps and tools that would just help people.
Sure,
and I think that was even one of the ones.
I'd like to know more about that, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll...
Because that's my problem right now. It's like managing my finances. I'm so bad at it.
Yeah.
Really bad at it.
Yeah, and that's one of the topics actually that kind of inspired this whole creation, because the self-employment that I do in the United States is very related to personal finance, life insurance, annuities, investments.
Nice.
So that's part of the inspiration, is the finance for just putting all this together.
Nice. And I think that would be a big help, you coming here and educating people about that, because there are so many professionals or entrepreneurs or freelancers in the Philippines right now that need these tools, need to know about these tools. So yeah, it's a big help, you coming here.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, the next video we have is like about getting mortgages, and we plan to explore that topic more locally here too, so we can relate it to Filipino people. But yeah, that's definitely always been a passion of mine. I studied finance in college in San Diego.
Nice.
So, but yeah, it's...
Because it's still a challenge. Up until now, it's still a challenge for the Filipino audience to really, because when they sometimes when they see content like that, when it starts talking about financials, like, oh, okay, no, I don't want to.
Exactly, that's the problem with finances. Is it's so fucking boring sometimes. It's like I can talk about it, like I can do a whole hour talking about finance, but nobody would watch it.
But no, there's already a popular content creator who's also from Davao. He talks about finances in a way that it's entertaining and educational, and people would really listen to him. His name is The Present. I just don't know his real name, but his platform is called The Present. Nuna, do you know him?
Who?
The Present.
I'm sorry. Who?
The Present. He's a double winyo guy, and he talks about finances. No, but he's actually popular. You should try to reach out to him because he talks about
What's
it.
his name?
The Present.
Okay.
The present.
Yeah, The Present.
We'll write that. Yeah, I think my challenge right now is that I don't quite understand all the Filipino finances and how it's different from the United States, right? Because I know United States laws and regulations and everything. I'm still learning that here. So, but it's a certainly very, very interesting topic. But that's kind of what, when I'm here, it's a little bit different talking about finances just because I'm not as versed in the local culture yet. Yeah.
But that's why I said it's you coming here and to really talk about it. It's a big help. It's a big help because even for me, even before we did the interview, when we just had like an informal conversation and you start talking about it, that's when I realized like exactly what have I been doing. I'm not I'm not really managing my finances well. So it's a big help.
Yeah,
it's a big help.
That's awesome.
Educating Filipinos about managing their finance. It's a big help. So thank you for coming here.
Yeah, my pleasure, man. My pleasure, man. And thank you for being here. I don't have that many other topics. I mean, those are kind of the things that that were on my mind. Is there any type of like plug that you want to do for your channel, like into the camera, or you could share where people can point, where you would like people to find you online first, like that type of thing?
But maybe before that, because I'd like to take this opportunity, like for you, say in a layman's term, how would you give me advice on managing my finances, knowing now that you know what I do, so for people who can also relate, like the basics in managing our finance.
I would say the thing that I have always tracked, at least for the last 4 years since I've been self-employed, has been my net cash flow, right? Okay. So it's like how much money is coming in, how much money is going out. Right. If the money coming in is more than the money going out, then I'm having a good month. Right. That's how I have looked at it for the past 4 years. Wow. Since I have started this project, I'm not gonna lie. My cash flow has, not been quite as strong because I'm still making adjustments and growing income again. So I don't want to give any false conceptions about that. But that is always how I've tracked it. And then also just if you're investing in something on a public stock exchange, how is that investment doing? If you hold on to it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 years, how much has it grown or gone down, right? Because what I do with these annuities, they're investment products called annuities, is they invest in a portfolio that is fixed into the markets. So however the overall market performs, the investment performance is going to follow that. So it's not like an actively managed type of investment, but it really just follows what the market's doing. So it's really good for set it and forget about it and not have to do it. Because you can get really into what am I going to invest in? What's going to grow? And you can spend all of your time doing that. But if you want something that's more passive, something like an ETF or a fixed index annuity is a good type of option for that.
Nice. And you mentioned about the tool, how much money is going out, how much money is coming in. And you mentioned about the tool earlier. Is that exactly what you're saying? That tool can help. I can pull up the app. Nice. And in a moment's notice, it refreshes every minute. Wow. It's that soon. Some of the banks take 24 hours. But you can see exactly how much in the hole you are or how positive you are for the month just based on that, and then you can just track it over time. So because it's a big help for me as a content creator who, and for I think it's one of the challenges for most content. I'm not really so sure, but that's how I see it. Especially for Bisaya content creators, like we don't really know exactly how much money are we spending than the money that's coming in.
Yeah.
So it would really be a big help.
Yeah.
I think it's also the right time for content creators to realize that while they are earning because of their social media presence, might as well learn how to manage their finances pretty well. So it's a big help.
So even if that specific app is not like here, but I'm pretty sure it is. There's gotta be something similar. So
Sure.
we can probably dig into that a little bit. Maybe even do a whole episode on it.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Good. Well, thank you.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you,
of course,
Paul.
man. Of course you do. No, I just want to thank you again, man, for being here with
You're
me.
welcome. It's an honor.
This was fun.
Yeah.
And where would you like people to find you first?
My main platforms are Facebook and YouTube, so you can check out my Facebook page. It's Chito Samontina, and my YouTube, it's Chito Samontina. The rest of the platforms, just the same name, Chito Samontina. TikTok, Instagram, or if you want to check my LinkedIn, I have LinkedIn as well. Those are just my Twitter. I don't really use Twitter that much because it's a little bit toxic for me.
Yeah.
But I do have Twitter. Everything is just Chito Samontina. There's only one Chito Samontina, I think, in the world. So it's just Chito Samontina. And if in any case my supporters are watching this, thank you very much for daghang salamat, no? Kapit ko English ani diri. Salamat kayo sa inyong pagsuporta nako, and please ayaw pod ninyo kalimti daghan mog makatunan pag-abot sa mga finances, inyo kalimti ang pag-follow kay Paul sa iyang YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. So what I said was just I was thanking my supporters. And to not forget to support you as well. Thank you, Paul.
It's been an honor.
Congrats, by the way,
Thank you.
for your new show and to your team. You got a really wonderful director.
I am blessed.
You're blessed.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.